All right. So I think that's enough lead-in time because this is going to be a YouTube video as well. Veil of Ficastes of the Dark Edge of Light here once more. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today, as you can see by what is up on my screen. First off, my normal stuff. I am Veil of Ficastes. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheOnlyVeilicV for up-to-date information on what's going on with me. You can check out my guild at @DEOL Gaming. Hey, James. And you can check out the amazing supportive creators at SUP Creators, at SUP Creators Pro, and all over the net. So James, of course, is in my chat saying this game looks bad, I should skip it, but I'm not going to skip it. One, happy birthday, James, by the way. Get that out of the way right now. But two, James was actually part of the team that made this game. So this was a submission for the GMTK Game Jam 2020. He and a group of people got. You're old. Hey, I feel that. I exist in that. This is their submission to it after a lot of blood, sweat, and tears over the 48-hour Game Jam. So I wanted to start on the actual page for it. You can check it out at jimhartley.itch.io/work-with-me-here. On the YouTube version of this, the links will be down below, so make sure you check them out. But they put together an absolutely fun-looking game with some absolutely adorable artwork. Some of the artwork person was, let's see, Cupcakes Crazier, Gabby. She's at Cupcakes Crazier over on at Cupcake Crazier. There we go. On Twitter. And again on the actual the YouTube, there'll be a link for her professional email as well as her commission info. Their sound designer was OK Coffee Man. Or OK Kaufman. Jeez, I can't read worth a shit today. And there will be a link to his YouTube down below. That was their composer and sound designer, also known as Oliver. And so they did this. The theme was out of control. So everybody had to do some form of, out of control thematic thing, whether they did it as part of the controls or part of the game, or whatever methodology they went with. You can see Team Toffee here, and in fact, there's our buddy James right there. And the other thing I wanted to really plug for this is the fact that they're not stopping here. Okay, they're actually going to keep going with this game and further develop it, which I think is really fun, cool. So check it out. Make sure that you bookmark this page so you can see updates as they do more stuff with it, because that'll be really fun. And we might revisit this now and then when James lets me know that there are like big changes or updates or such, just to sort of see how it keeps going. But I wanted to do a stream of this and a YouTube featurette of it, because why the hell not? James is a fellow member of the Dark Edge of Light. You hear his voice routinely when we are playing Elite Dangerous and Fallout 76. Anyway, please. Thank you. Right. Alright, I already love the music. Prepare for clicking finger pain. I know, you warned me about that, and I'm already with that. I'm good for that. So, I mean, right out of the gate, the art is great. The music is great. The working from home is so relaxing. Try to keep up with your work queue over the course of the day. Read your emails and answer your phone, or it'll lead to even more work. Pay attention to Toffee to prevent disconnection. Good luck. Oh boy. Oh boy. on that worked at least. Uh-oh. Something happened. Toffee. You're okay. How do I... Ah, plug it in. There we go. Connecting. Phone. Holy shit. Kill the emails. There we go. Oh boy. Might have to, oh jeez. Oh! Good puppy. I wish I could, like, throw that for him. Down again. Oh dear. Oh man. Oh. Holy shit. Whoops. Got to plug the router in. Connecting. Oh, you can catch him? Oh, he didn't plug in the router again. There he was. Oh, that's too many. 400, Jesus Christ. That's like my email after like a couple days. Oh no. Shit, that's a lot of emails. Or not emails, but work items. Oh! Oh, jeez. So that's an adorable little game. I mean, it's very simple, and that's okay. The Game Jam games, of course, other big games have come out of Game Jam. Surgeon Simulator actually being one of the biggest ones. So this definitely has a lot of potential. I really want to see if I can actually keep up with the workload. No. Jesus. Alright. Alright, first get rid of those. Right. Right. Play with the dog. Answer that. That. No, you don't. I've got to remember that I don't necessarily have to click like on an actual email. I just need to click on the screen, at least right now. Boy. No, you don't. Okay, and I really do like the fact that the you can still hear it when you're checking on them. Holy shit, this is frenetic as hell. I love it. Oh god. Too many emails. Oh god, I just minimized it! Oh, where is it? Shit. Oh, shit. Man, I was doing so well, too. Yeah, no way I can catch up. Oh, fuck. Oh, crap. Sorry, idiots outside. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I totally get that, too. Like, it totally makes sense. Oh. Oh, shit. That. Woo. Of course, the funniest part is just the fact that what I do for a living. I did actually, yeah. No, I absolutely did. But if you wanna hop in, hang on, let me jump into chat, and you can voice tell it. Hang on. Absolutely. Let me hop into stream chat. There we are. And I'm going to quickly grab the phone. Back the sound down a little bit so that it'll be in the background. Yeah. Yeah, pop in and tell the story, because yeah, I did read that, and that was a great little story.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Why don't you just keeping up your emails better? Jeez.
I know, jeez, man. Because I can tell, like, the if more emails show up, it, like, increases a multiplier on the workload or something like that. And,
yeah.
like, holy
so there's, like, really super simple mechanics that are all running for those things. So what we wanted to do was, instead of just like your basic clicker game where you just there's a number and you click to make it go up or down and it's just all about how fast you click, we had this idea of, like, you have to keep on top of multiple things.
Yeah.
And so the emails, every time a new email comes in, your current email queue, whatever that number is, gets added to your workload.
Okay.
So eventually it's going to get to the point where, like, no human being can keep up with that amount if you're not also on top of your emails. Right?
Exactly.
And then obviously Toffee, and, like, everything runs in the background while the router's disconnected because you still have a net email account and a work queue. You're just not connected to it.
Yep.
So stuff like that. And then the phone has like it's like a pseudo randomized timer. There's a very narrow range for how long the phone will ring before either it goes to voicemail or the person on the other end hangs up. And if you don't answer the phone before that happens, the total amount of that timer gets added to your work queue as well.
Oh no!
Yeah, so it's one of those things, like, if you're not on top of any one aspect, things can get, as the theme would imply, out of control.
Out
very
of
quickly.
control. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so to tell the story, I guess, real quick, just so it's on your VOD. So this was originally going to be built in Unity, and we had 2 programmers, and, like, everybody on this team was just great. Like, everybody was on top of things and worked really well together. We had some snags early on with the 2 programmers kind of figuring out, you know, how do we set some standards, you know, so that, like, programmer A doesn't have to go back in and like figure out what programmer B was doing when the code gets merged and stuff.
Sure. Yep.
So they were figuring all that out, and that kind of slowed us down a little bit on Saturday. Also, I'd overscoped things a little bit, like all the things that normally go into game development, like there's snags and hitches.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everything was pretty well worked out by the end of Saturday, and we were like decently confident that we'd get to launch, or get to submission point. And there was just something in the back of my head that was like, create a backup build, super bare bones, just have it, and if something terrible happens, we'll have it to submit. And if something terrible doesn't happen, just delete it. Nobody ever has to know it was built, and as it turned out, Yael, one of our programmers, they had divvied up the work, basically all the remaining work, to half and half between the two programmers. And Yael, who is in Israel, had a blackout for basically the entire work time that we would have had Sunday, and it just like completely would have sunk us if we hadn't had the backup build. So in the last like 3 hours, everybody pivoted to this this backup build. And if you I can kind of show you, but like let me see here. I can probably screen share it just to show you in the chat in the visuals for yourself. But so I built the backup build in GameMaker Studio 2, which I'm just I'm kind of used to doing, and it's really good for fast prototyping. I figured it would be pretty much the best
it's a great
possible option.
Yeah,
it just gets you to something playable really quickly. So I created this build, and this build, I don't know how much it'll come across just looking at it, but like this is like the most spaghetti code like lashed together. I looked through this the other day and was like, I can't follow this. Like this only works because of how, like, it was a steady one steady burst of like 6 or 7 hours of work,
right?
Just to get it to a build point. There's so many variables here that just like aren't used. They're overnamed.
You threw them in, that you overnamed them. Like, I might need this, I might need this, I might need this.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just threw it together, and in the last like 3 hours, we completely pivoted around the guy Justin, who'd been leading our programming. He switched over to take care of building the page, which, like, the page, I think of, I mean, obviously I'm biased toward the game, but like I think the page looks really, really good. And he's actually also a web designer, so it worked out really well for him to pivot to it. J.M. Hartley.
That's J.M. Hartley.
Yeah, Justin's awesome. And he's actually the one who's going to be leading the work going forward, because there was a point in our pivot meeting where we were talking about like so much of the game had to be cut. There's a whole left-hand room that just isn't in the game.
Okay.
There's a whole thing. There was like a stress mechanic where you have to like take time off from working, or your screen gets harder to read and harder to interact with and stuff.
Okay, so you had to like go sit down and like have some food or take a drink of water.
Yeah, it's like you got to get a meal, or like you can go and nap on the couch, but like while you're napping on the couch, you don't get any alerts, so you don't know if things are building up or not. And like on the left-hand screen, which is like the kitchen, you also had the option to like go outside, which improves your happiness and Toffee's happiness, but also you can't see the work building it. And so it was just this whole thing, and it just didn't make it into this because this was like the bare bones backup build. So they're actually right now working on what we're referring to as the real build, the Unity build that Justin and Yael were building. So this was like, we pivoted to this just to have something to submit and to convey the super basics of what the experience would be. And then
Right.
essentially, like, I gave the code to Justin and was like, I don't know what, if anything, you can learn from this mess, but feel free,
Feel free.
because otherwise I'm going to delete it because it's like a
It's an affront.
mass of chords and it's like a fire hazard. So yeah,
I've had those.
so yeah,
like,
he's going to
I've
be
done those.
yeah. So this was like the emergency version of the game, and then like that's one of the reasons why it was important to put up that, you know, it's going to be re-released. There's a full game because
Yeah.
everybody wants to keep going and finish work on like what we actually intended.
What you wanted to actually put out, if circumstances
Yeah.
completely outside anybody's control had reared their ugly heads.
Yeah, exactly. There was this really tense amount of time where we were like, Yael's in Israel and he just disappeared. Like, is
Right,
everything
like,
okay?
That's terrifying. Like, to have
Yeah.
somebody in an area like that, where
Exactly.
things do happen, is
Yeah.
just terrifying. You know, that I get that.
So-
Like, oh man.
Yeah. So luckily, I mean, he's fine, and obviously,
good, yeah.
and everything's okay. But yeah, it was just one of those, like, I don't know why they scheduled a blackout, but they scheduled a blackout.
They
And
scheduled a blackout. Well, I mean, you know, the time
Yeah.
of year over there as well, so it might have just literally been power blackouts or something like that. You never know.
it's true.
Uh,
It's true.
but
But yeah, so that's kind of the story. There's a bunch of art that that Gabby made, and there's like a whole other suite of sound effects that Oliver made, and there's just all these assets and stuff that we just couldn't make it in for the submission. So,
But you
yeah.
know, even
So we'll see.
it's a lot of fun. It's a cute little game. The art is just fantastic. Like the art
Oh
is
my
freaking
God.
adorable.
We-
Like Toffee
we
is
pretty
the
much-
cutest
yeah,
naughty dog
we pretty
ever.
much all agreed that that the whole team lucked out on having Gabby as the artist. So so that end screen that was made in the last hour and a half of the game jam up to
Jesus.
submission. Yeah, by the end of it, like, she was like, this is hands down the fastest thing I've ever drawn.
And it's adorable. Like,
Yeah, and
absolutely
totally knocked it out of
charming
the
and
park.
adorable. Yeah, like
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
like, it's wonderful.
Yeah, Toffee's little
Oh,
face
man.
there with the heart up to the left a little bit.
Uh-huh.
That's the Discord icon for our team.
Oh, that's
server.
awesome. That's
That little
fantastic.
hey face.
That's fantastic.
Anyway, yeah, just want to hop in and tell the story.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely. I'm glad you
yeah,
did.
enjoy
That
the rest
way-
of your stream, man.
It'll be on the VOD and everything. I'm gonna give this a few more shots, and then
sure.
upload it and share it around. Get everything uploaded for it tomorrow with the links for people. But
Cool.
yeah, no, definitely very
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for playing it. Let me know, ping me when you get the VOD up, and I'll send it out to the team. to
Oh,
show them
absolutely.
the thing.
Yeah, I absolutely will.
All right, well, have a good stream, man.
All right, thanks, man. So yeah, that was James. You know, you've heard his voice on my streams before. Heard him with us in Fallout 76. You've heard him with us in Elite Dangerous, and he does game design. He's actually working on another game as well. That's completely separate from this. That I've had the opportunity to alpha test, and I'm hoping someday we'll have the opportunity to stream, because that would be a lot of fun. But it's this, however, is just freaking. It's adorable. It's absolutely cute, and I need to try and do it again. It's one of those things. So it's sort of. Clicker games have their own weird appeal, and they they a lot of times they lend themselves crazy well to mobile devices. The phone clickers. But there have been a few on PC that have just had this addiction level that makes you want to just try to beat what you did. And this is definitely got that potential, because like, especially as they continue through and realize what their original vision had been, I think it's gonna have the chance to be like one of those that people, when they try it, just won't be able to put it down. And there are others like the trying to be a perfectionist in One Finger Death Punch is another game that like has that same sort of feel, and I sort of was getting that same like intense frenetic investment in this, because like in that game, of course, you know, you're batting, you're doing like left button, right button, trying to watch the dudes coming in, and you get the investment of like sort of letting your eyes go out of focus a little bit so you can see what's going on. And with this one, it's like you've got this sort of back of mind thing of, I need to check on the dog, but the numbers are good. I need to check on the, okay, gotta breakaway, check on the dog, see if, oh god, get back. And so when they add in more of the screens, that's going to be crazy. Like I will definitely stream it as they do as they do more of it and get it towards where they actually want it to be. It's going to be streamed again, and I'll do a port VODs to YouTube for it too, because it's got that frenetic potential. You know, that evil email icon with that evil number there. That's the scary one. That's the really scary one. Yeah, let's try again. Type the dog. Click the email. Click the work. Click the email. Click the works. Oh god. Stop that. Click the dog. Click the work. Email. Click the work. Click the phone. Pet the dog. Dog is still okay. Click the email, click the work. The email, click the work. Try to move away from the cat's tail so the cat does not click the email and click the work. Oh god, I just did the wrong things. Oh god. Gotta keep that music going, because that music is literally like slightly oh no, I'm fucking up. Nope. 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 Oh, no. Ah! Oh god, I didn't pay enough attention to the dog. No, click that, click that. Oh god, the router. Oh god, the dog. Oh god, the cat. Oh Jesus. Oh fuck me. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. The cat screwed me up. This one was all the cat's fault. This was the cat's fault. No. Oh god. Oh no, I've clicked off the screen. No internet! Oh, Toffee. Oh god. Oh shit. No, no. Oh, I almost had it under 50. Oh. Oh. Oh shit. Yo, I'm gonna have to get Zion to try it at some point, because he's an even faster clicker than I am. And I'm gonna have to see if he can like get his brain to keep up with it even better, because he and I have actually had a lot of fun in the past, like trying to like compete in clicker style games. Um, because of just the way he's able to screw around um, with his with the way his hand works and shit like that. So I'm definitely gonna have to get Zion to try it. Oh wow, that and see, I can tell that this is the other reason this is really gonna be successful. I think is just because like I can't even be frustrated in the game. Like there are some games where you know there'll be that this is bullshit moment, and I'll put the game aside. But even though I don't succeed, I'm still laughing at the end of the round, and that's a really telling thing. Um, you know the music is good. It lets you sort of groove out. It doesn't become monotonous. It sort of lets you stand into it. The mechanics are very simple, but that's okay. They don't need to be super complex in order for it to be fun. And while I'm looking forward to the new complexities they add, I think this is an awesome starting point. I'm really glad they were able to at least put this version out because I think it's a great sample for what's going to come. And the artwork is super adorable, you know, which sort of counterpoints the whole the factor that would normally make things frustrating with not being able to keep up with it. You have this adorable artwork of this dog just sort of looking at you, knowing you're gonna be upset that he unplugged the router, but now he gets pets. And so, you know, I think it's really smart decision making, and it's just fun. I got myself down under 10 work items that round, so I'm going to count that as a success. And I didn't want this to go too long, because I want it to be a short and watchable VOD and YouTube video. So half-hour mark is about right for something like that. So we're going to go ahead and stop stream there while looking at the adorable face of Toffee the dog. I will, dude. But man, thank you. I mean, thank your whole team, Team Toffee. Go check them out. Again, I'm gonna pop that webpage back up here. Right up there. Right there. jmhartley.itch.io/work-with-me-here. Work with me here, okay? You guys need to go check it out. They're going to be continuing to update it. I'm actually going to go right here and show you this page here. This is them stating that they are going to be working on this, okay? They're going to be continuing to do it. They're basically they took a rest, and they're going to be just continuing to work on this over time. But they are definitely going to be continuing the work. It's going to be awesome. So make sure you go check them out. Follow the game. Add it to your game collection. I'm actually going to do that. Well, I'm going to have to make an account, but I will be doing that. But go check it out. Again, this was done for the Out of Control GMTK Game Jam 2020. They did that as a submission, which I just think is awesome. And you should go check them out. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, down below, there's going to be links to this page. The continuing page is going to be linked to the main page. There's going to be links to all the people who have given me information, and if more people give me information, I will add them onto the links as time goes by. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. And as always, the dark edge of light and be Bailiff Costes. Game on.